WBCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
The longest-running pro wrestling radio talk show in the history of terrestrial radio.
And he's obviously Michael Cole.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Because that's what this show's about. That's what we've been doing for over 16 years.
No. It's about sports entertainment.
And now here are your hosts of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon and Lucas DeSangro.
Will you stop marking out over there?
Sorry.
Move over, kid. I'm taking your microphone.
You're shallow, you know that?
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. I don't remember what the hell I do anymore. There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Alongside Lucas, Twitch DeSangro in studio, I'm Fearon and I'm a little more energetic than usual. Maybe it's because I actually got what seems like more than close to normal sleep for most people. Actually, a whopping 5 hours of sleep. A rare time where I actually got more than you.
I know. Holy role reversal, Batman.
Exactly. So we'll have to, well, I don't know. We'll figure out something here. I guess I'll have to put things on my back here. Or, I think as you had said some while ago.
You don't have to look it up. You can continue carrying the show like a boss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See what happens when I go over some old episodes and pull some lovable droppables that...
I feel like that was a recent episode.
That was sometime earlier this year, yes. Yeah, working on catching up. For those who've been following on YouTube, I've been slowly getting up to back to present here as we make our way through the last bit of the summer here. Probably about maybe 14 episodes behind now, something like that.
Yeah.
The most recent one I had uploaded was the 15-year look back when we initially got the F out.
Ooh.
Yeah, remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm working on it. There's thanks to some technical difficulties, we're gonna have to redo the episode from May, the ... dive episode, which is a shame because that was a really good episode. But
the good thing is, though, I think I have a clear way to make my point. Where it was a cut on short notice, I had to try and make my opinion. I think
now it's a little bit more solidified.
Yes, and how it's presented. Yes.
Well, what can I say? Technical difficulties all around here.
You scratch my back and I'll stab yours.
Well said, Brett. Anyway, it's SummerSlam weekend.
Yes.
Brooklyn is going bonkers, as it is wont to do.
One of the best weekends. I don't know. I think I enjoy both WrestleMania and SummerSlam, but there's something about, like, WrestleMania is WrestleMania, but there's something about you really only get that. There's no other weekend besides SummerSlam that you would get that sort of hype for. Like, I know your favorite pay-per-view is the Rumble, but going into WrestleMania to SummerSlam just doesn't feel. It just feels more like it's almost like a second WrestleMania.
I think it's because for most wrestling fans who are kids, they realize this is their last hurrah before school starts.
That's depressing. That's not what I meant by that.
Well, it's one of those, if you're gonna, if you're gonna go back trudging to school, at least go out having a big party beforehand. And
well, I mean,
what better
but
than
then
the biggest party of the summer?
What about the kids in 1995?
We still had that. I mean,
Really? Your big hurrah was Diesel versus Mabel?
I'm at the event, not the.
Well, and yeah, but the event needs to be good. The event needs to be good too.
And frankly, well. If you're gonna split hairs and go there, I was looking more forward to the rematch ladder match between Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon.
Yes, that was a great match. Probably should have main evented.
Oh goodness. Well, I mean that's neither here nor there. But I mean, you're gonna pick on 1995, which was across the board one of the least popular years in wrestling.
Of course I'm going to pick 1995 because it's low-hanging fruit. I'm not that educated in the year of 95 because, yeah, it's one of the worst years. Although we do need to finish our 94 saga of we watched the Rumble, 94, we need to watch Mania, then we need to watch SummerSlam, then Survivor Series.
And the one you're forgetting in between.
King of the Ring.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was back when it was the big 5 pay-per-views. But we're going to talk SummerSlam. We'll get our predictions starting to go wrong for the 13 matches.
fun little trivia for you, Big Five. There's only 2 cities in the history of the WWE to host all 5 pay-per-views.
Of the Big Five,
Yes.
as it was known back then.
Yes.
Because some people would argue that Money in the Bank has kind of replaced the defunct since 2002 King of the Ring.
What are those 2 cities?
Oh, gosh. I looked this up like a little while ago. I'm just trying to remember because it was like a few weeks ago. That I want
I'll
to
give
say...
you a hint. Both are on the East.
Don't give me any hints. I want to say Boston and Philadelphia.
Ding, ding, ding. Correct.
Ah, see,
Correct.
I just had to dig back into the recesses here. See?
You guys get the chance. Go on the YouTubes. Look up What Culture Wrestling. 10 fascinating facts about. They're doing all of the King of the Ring. Well, they did all of the King of the Rings. They did it for WrestleMania. Now they're doing it for the SummerSlams. 10 interesting facts about.
10 things you didn't know about each particular year's
Well, yeah,
SummerSlam.
10 sort of like that. 10 fascinating facts, stuff like that. It's very.
Oh, okay. You're talking to all right. You did say YouTube. I'm thinking of the thing on What Culture's website. I think that Justin Henry's been doing the write up of that has been 10 interesting facts or 10 things you didn't know about or may
Oh yeah,
not
no,
have
I
known
think
about.
that is what it was because he was doing that for WrestleMania. So.
And King of the Ring, and I think maybe even the Rumble before that. So, and there are a lot of things that even I was kind of like, interesting.
A couple of them I knew from you, but yeah, a lot of them were very baffling. Yeah.
So anyway, we also got some news and notes to get into here, and we're gonna just get right off of this off the bat because we today's show could have taken a much darker turn, and thankfully it wasn't. Because of the crazy week that involved the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all started last Saturday when Flair's manager, Melinda Morris Zanoni, which somewhere at home, I think I actually have her phone number. Yeah, that's right. I was trying to see about talking to Flair, and he said go through my manager, Melinda, and then, of course, that like not too long after that was when his son Reed Flair passed away, so I kind of stayed distant from there, but... oh well, missed opportunity. But she had wrote that Flair was hospitalized for routine monitoring. But then late this past Sunday night into Monday morning, she updated the situation on Twitter stating, quote, "Are you a fan or friend of Ric Flair? If so, we need prayers and positive energy for our living legend as he is dealing with some tough medical issues." And then later Monday, TMZ reported that Flair was scheduled to undergo surgery for a then undisclosed medical condition and that Flair was in a medically induced coma. So, yeah, all throughout social media, you saw hashtags, various hashtags of either pray for Flair or prayer for Flair. Yeah, I mean, a bunch of different ones that I think pretty much all ended up trending at some way, shape, or form. She then followed up Monday evening, noting that Rick had successful surgery that she insisted was not heart-related and that there was still a long road ahead, and asked to please keep prayers for Rick, Charlotte, Megan, David, and Wendy. Referring to Rick's 3 children and fiancée, Wendy, formerly known as Fifi the Maid from WCW back in '93 during the Flair for Gold days. Flair was also interviewed by, interestingly enough, he was interviewed by Sports Illustrated days before his hospitalization, in the New York Post reporting that the interview painted a clearer picture of why Flair underwent surgery. He eerily discussed his alcohol problems that have led to complications in his health later in life, saying to the magazine, quote, "I had one vice. I'm not going to point my finger at anybody else. My vice was drinking. I didn't have any pain issues, addiction problems, marijuana, cocaine, nothing like that."
It was more of a hobby than it was an addiction for the last one, I feel like.
What, cocaine?
Yeah.
A hobby?
'Twas acceptable in the 80s.
Yeah, except he didn't. He wasn't one of those people into it.
No, he said he wasn't addicted.
Well,
You can partake.
I don't know. Well, we're splitting hairs on that. He says, "It's a fact that I kept myself up all night and always had a good time."
Woo!
Yeah, you know it. You know it.
You know it!
Settle down there, Shaheem Lethal. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, don't.
Not going there. But Flair ended up having surgery to relieve an intestinal blockage, which required the removal of a portion of his bowel. Yeep. Flair's fiancée, Wendy Barlow, denied rumors of a heart attack and or colon surgery with a Facebook update on Wednesday, saying, quote, "Just want to give an update to my friends and family as I've been unable to talk on the phone without crying and just feel shocked over events. I took Rick to the hospital Friday night with severe abdominal pain. From that moment on, it all seems like a nightmare. Now, according to Sports Illustrated, Flair may be in the hospital for at least a month due to further complications from Monday's surgery. So,
Isn't his 30 for 30 supposed to come out soon?
I want to say in early November. Ooh. So that's about 2 months away. So hopefully, hopefully we can get him healthy enough to be a part of that here.
Well, I mean, he already was a part of that. It's just
yeah, to be able to be around and not have it to be like in memory of Ric Flair. And the aftermath.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be around. Yeah, it's a nature boy. Come on.
Good point. All right, let's get a phone call here before we get to our first timeout. Let's get to Ed from Northeast Philly. Look at the local scene. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Good afternoon. I forgot to mention this last week. Hogan's birthday was August 11th, the day before the convention.
Yes, yeah. I forget if I mentioned something about it. I mentioned it on Factory Fridays. That's what it was.
Oh, I can only imagine what the situation was.
I don't even remember what exactly the situation. I think it was somebody delivering a leg drop or something. But Hogan turning 64. I'm gonna. I was debating on it, but I think I won't pull the Vince. Well, you know what? It's right here. Why not?
I'm 64.
All right. What else you got, Ed?
Is it Flair? I think Flair is 68. I read.
Yes, Flair turned 68 back in February of this year.
We also have JPW coming to Rahway, New Jersey, October 21st, with a 7 p.m. bell time.
All right, for those quite a bit north of us
here. It used to be
here.
on the 7th, but they changed it.
Oh, okay. They made a switch up here.
They made it 2 weeks later, from October 7th to October 21st. SummerSlam viewing party at Nick's tomorrow night.
Yes, Nick's Roast Beef, Common Avenue in Northeast Philadelphia.
Nikolai Volkov, Bill Abner, and Bob Orton.
Man, that is a trifecta to say the least.
Yeah, and they'll have I think they might have a Q&A. I'm pretty sure they have a Q&A too. That 5 to 7, then 7 is the autograph signings.
And the special start time to the pay-per-view.
5 p.m.
Yeah, that's right. Get ready for another marathon here. What, a 4-hour potentially plus pay-per-view and a 2-hour pregame or pre-show?
Yeah.
Should certainly be fun there.
We have Heat Wave from KCW next week in Darby, Pennsylvania. Coco Beware and Gene Snitsky.
Interesting. The Birdman, the Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Triple WA in Quakertown with a 7 p.m. bell time next Saturday. And Quakertown Farmers Market.
The old Q-Mart.
Dino Sano's promotion.
Mm-hmm. I know Dino well over the years. Done some announcing and some other things for his promotion.
That's too far out. This one, I don't know why I put it on the list.
No worries.
Lakewood, New Jersey. Anyway, I think that's a little bit too far out.
I mean, it's a little bit of a hike, but I mean, that's what's great about this area, this tri-state area. There's so much wrestling, and even locally here. Hopefully not to steal your thunder here, but later tonight, right in Fairless Hills here, Battleground Championship Wrestling's Summer Meltdown. It's going to be at 920 Trenton Road in Fairless Hills. You'll see former WWE superstar Swoggle taking on Craig Steele. Also, Dan Maff against Bull James. The Amazing Graysons, they're taking on Valeria Lamorte and Matt McIntosh.
The Abominable CPA will face DJ Hyde, I believe.
Yes. And Tasha Steelz against Nikki Adams as well. So that's all. That's all not too far from here. If you can't make it down to where Twitch and I are going to be, meet and greets at 6 o'clock with an 8 o'clock bell time.
Yeah, and I heard that Danny Cage is going to have a pay-per-view party as well.
Yes, I can get into that. Yeah, it's gonna. I was good. Yeah, I was gonna get into that at some point, but this show is free flowing in that regard. Yeah, the MFPW returning to the world famous Monster Factory at 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey tonight, where Royal Money gets another shot at LSG's Supersonic Championship, but this time it's no disqualification. Also, Primal Fear and Punishment Martinez will be in 8-man tag team action. You'll see the return of Gabby Ortiz. She had wrestled in Japan for Stardom, and she's back in the States, and she'll face Riley Shepard. Also, Mikey Webb defends the MFPW Heavyweight Championship against Getty Cahoon. Plus, you'll see other stars in action like Corey Hyena Hex, Michael Burke, Sage Matthews, Twitch, and more. Yeah, this guy right here. Plus, a ticket gets you... Huh?
Good luck.
Good luck, yeah.
Thank you.
Especially not knowing your opponent yet, unless there's something that I...
Miss your opponent.
Yeah. We'll find out. We'll see what gets put together. Plus, the ticket to the event tonight gets you access to a viewing party of SummerSlam the following night, tomorrow night, with the stars of the MFPW. So you can hang out with us fine folk, because I'll be there as well, as in the Fearon Burgundy regalia. So that's all starting tonight and heading into tomorrow at the MFPW Arena, 541 Mantua Avenue in Paulsboro, New Jersey. Tickets available now at eventbrite.com. And make sure to check out the MFPW and all things Monster Factory on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as at monsterfactory.org. And check past matches, bios, bloopers, and more at the mfnetwork.com.
Sorry to talk over you.
No,
anyway, that's about it.
Alrighty, thank you for the look at the local scene, Ed. Appreciate it as always. We'll catch you next week. And yeah, it's about time we take care of a little bit of business here, a little TCB, as it were. And we'll be back to talk SummerSlam, a bunch more news and notes we still have to get into, including some interesting GFW news and a few other departures as well.
A lot of people jumping ship.
Yeah, a lot of jumping around, to say the least. And we'll also get to Joe from Hamilton. We'll get right to you on the other side. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Next time you head down the shore, make Keenan's Irish Pub your favorite spot. Located in the heart of North Wildwood, Keenan's Irish Pub is 25,000 square feet of wall-to-wall fun. There's live entertainment 7 days a week and an extensive menu that even features sushi. So grab a nice cold drink, listen to some live music, and enjoy a fantastic time at Keenan's Irish Pub. Keenan's is located at 113 Old New Jersey Avenue in North Wildwood, where all the neighborhoods still meet.
There's a threat targeting America: Lyme disease. Spread by tiny ticks, this dangerous disease can cause life-changing health problems and is now more widespread than West Nile, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS combined. So it's time for us to target Lyme disease. That means checking for ticks when you've been outside and seeing a doctor if you experience the warning signs, which can include joint pain and flu-like symptoms. Learn how you can target Lyme disease at targetlyme.org. Brought to you by the Stephen and Alexandra Cohen Foundation and this station.
You won't see termites crawling across your floor, but thousands might be devouring the wood in your walls, weakening the structure of your home. For over 50 years, Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley has been in the exterminating business. If you think you have a pest problem, they're the experts. Call them today at 215-639-5455. That's 215-639-5455 for TPPC. Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley gives your home or business peace of mind, knowing your pest problem is in their hands. Located at 1560 Bristol Pike in Bensalem, they use only EPA-approved material applied by licensed technicians. Call Termite Proofing and Pest Control of the Delaware Valley at 215-639-5455.
Phillies fans, if you want to get inside the game, inside the team, and inside the strategy, then we've got you covered. Tune into the Baseball Insiders presented by SEPTA every Sunday following Phillies baseball. Former Phillies All-Stars Ricky Vitaligo and Tommy Green join host Phillies Director of Fun and Games John Brazier to recap all the action and look ahead to what's coming up for the Fightin' Phils. The Baseball Insiders presented by SEPTA right here on 1490 WBCB and video stream live at WBCB1490.com.
He's got the Luigi death stare from Fearon, so we might have to...
I didn't give you the Luigi death stare. That's not true.
You're breaking kayfabe.
Breaking kayfabe. I'm going to break something else during this commercial.
There we go. That's what I like to see.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your hosts, Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro.
Are we getting into that controversy again?
I know how it feels, and it's not fun.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry and Lucas DeSangro here, and we're going to go right to the phones and get to Joe from Hamilton. Joe, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Hey, I love coming back from a break, man, and no matter how many times you play it, that thing coming back in with you and Lucas never gets old, man. It's always good. I love hearing that.
Well, I was going to say, I'm going to have to, really dive deep into some of the episodes. I'm sure there's plenty of other banter that I can use as fodder for the return, just over the course of, really over the course of the last 4 years, but I don't want to have anything too dated. So I know we've been using that one for a while, and it is hysterical, but I'm sure there's other funny quips that the two of us have battled over the course of the last quite a few years now.
Mm. Oh, absolutely.
It's adding up quickly.
I just want to say before we get into the wrestling, man, big props to you and the WBCB management for the Rock and Rod Cade thing last week, or I think it was Wednesday. That was a class act, man, because I never thought I'd hear that kind of stuff again, and you guys delivered. It was fantastic.
Well, I mean, I know that it's been a very polarizing opinion. We'll just put it that way in terms of bringing Rock and Rod in. I mean, he is a friend and colleague of mine, and I know he doesn't necessarily want it admitted, but he has on a few occasions listened to this program here. He is a fan of professional wrestling, although not a fan of the Honky Tonk Man. I can't imagine why. No. But no, I mean, as somebody who's hosted the Elvis and Friends show for as long as he had, and with his situation, which we won't get into, it was nice to be able to extend the olive branch to get him on here on that historic anniversary of Elvis's passing, 40 years this past Wednesday to the day that he had passed, and it was a fun hour to do here. And as far as I know, it's going to be just a one-time thing, but I know that a lot of his fans, as well as fans of Elvis, were very appreciative, and I'm glad to have, at least as far as I'm concerned, have done the right thing, although I know some people tend to have a counterpoint to that. I'll just leave it at that.
There's always a counterpoint for something, Fearon.
This is true.
I'm pumped up for SummerSlam, and the shows were good. The go-home shows going to the pay-per-view. But one thing I think a lot of people are glossing over is that Cruiserweight match on Raw. It's a good thing they didn't put it on the pre-show that they usually do, the kickoff, because I think it would have lost its luster. But, man, that was a fantastic match. The Cruiserweight shined. A lot of people take a dump on this Cruiserweight division for whatever reason. Tozawa was good. Neville has been great since he turned heel and won that belt. I mean, it was just fantastic. Titus O'Neil has never been so over, I think, in all his career. I mean, what do you guys think?
Well, I mean, it's good enough. It kind of throws a different twist in that you have the title change 6 days before the pay-per-view, where I think a lot of people were anticipating Tozawa to win at SummerSlam. And, I mean, I guess for better or worse, you are going to see that rematch with Tozawa as the defending champion coming in against Neville. That's going to be one of the 3 pre-show matches tomorrow night, or tomorrow evening, I should say.
It's going to be a long night tomorrow, but you know what? I'm ready for it. And I just want to thank you guys for taking the call, and you guys have a great weekend and enjoy SummerSlam, man. Take care. Keep going.
Oh, we'll do. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate the phone call, and appreciate the kind words as well. And that's, it's about as, I got nothing else on that. I don't feel like getting into more potential trouble with anybody. I don't need to draw any more heat. That seems to be what I do. I just...
heat magnet.
Yeah, I'm a heat magnet. So much heat, I'm borderline flaming. In other news, Global Force Wrestling issuing the following statement on Monday to announce that Alberto El Patron has been stripped of the GFW Championship. Their statement, GFW has concluded its internal consideration of the events surrounding the suspension of Alberto El Patron. While it is apparent that initial reports unfairly characterize El Patron's involvement in the incident in the Orlando airport, we are nonetheless disappointed with the manner in which he dealt with this situation. We expect more decorum from all on the GFW roster, especially the world champion. We have communicated with El Patron our decision to strip him of his championship title. No decision has been taken as to the date on which he will be reinstated to the roster, the conditions of which are a private matter between the company and El Patron. Very interesting, as Artie Johnson so famously said, oh man, almost 50 years ago? Oh, laughing. No laughing matter in this case. Alberto El Patron. Alberto? Man, maybe I should have sprung for 8 hours of sleep instead of 5. El Patron issued a statement on his Instagram page later that day regarding being stripped of the GFW Unified Championship, saying, quote, "My company, Impact, and I have come to an agreement that it's best for both parties if I be stripped from the championship." Well, he said championships, but nah. "I came up with the suggestion just to show that Impact doesn't have favorites and everyone gets treated the same. Apologies to fans and my brothers and sisters in the company. Even though I came out all clear and there was no wrongdoing, it was still a scandal. So thanks for your support, and let's move forward more positively. One day I hope to be your champion again." Got anything on that? You'd say?
Whatever. I'm not exactly a big fan of Patron. I used to be.
More of a Cuervo guy? But I'm bummed.
I see what you did there. No, it's just there's too much seedy stuff going on with him, with like the scandals and stuff like that, and just
yeah, it is a bit disheartening, we'll say.
Yeah.
Not necessarily frustrating, but disheartening. Also disheartening to GFW fans, a couple of departures from the roster here. Firstly, last Saturday night, Angelina Love announcing via Twitter that she requested and received her release from Global Force Wrestling, tweeting, quote, "I asked for my release from at Impact Wrestling, and it was granted today. Thank you for the years of fun, and much love to all my fans." I don't know how surprising this is, considering that her husband, Davey Richards, recently requested and received his GFW release in order to pursue a medical career.
What?
Oh, was that one of the weeks you weren't here?
Yeah, but what? He wants...
Yeah, Davey Richards is looking to become a doctor. Like, he's been going to medical school and wrestling, but he's now in, like, the final years of school where the ability to do both wrestling on TV and the intense study that is required to become a doctor is too much. So he kind of hit that fork in the road, and he opted for medical school instead of professional wrestling. So he gets to help fix others instead of hurt his body for profit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would advise you not to. I would advise you to stay away from. Well, I mean, if we're gonna really point fingers here, Doc, I saw your match in Japan, and pot calling the kettle black, I might say. You got dropped on your head twice.
Yeah, maybe that had a little bit of a factor in there. Who knows?
Maybe.
I know. I just completely turned your joke and made it serious and ruined it.
I ruined it by myself. You just drove the last nail in the coffin. It's fine.
How morbid. Moving on. D'Angelo De Niro, also known as Elijah Burke, also announced his departure from the GFW Impact Wrestling broadcast team. He announced that via social media on Thursday, stating on Instagram, quote, "The clock is ticking, never standing still, yet memories will come in floods they will." This was no surprise as things began to click when negotiations stalled because of arithmetics. "In arriving, hello is easy to say, in departing it's different, as some will sway. But no, not me, as I look toward the sky, For there's a reason I've always walked with my head held high. Is he trying to beat out the genius in poems here?
I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like you, Sam, I am. I will not wrestle on a boat. And unless it's Daniel Bryan, I will not wrestle with a goat.
Way to take from Chris Jericho there with the Chris Benoit on a boat.
Photoshop.
The photo, yeah, the early
goat?
Photoshop. Yep.
Forgot about that.
He goes on to say, although the past will come trickling around and through, the future is bright with much things for me to do. So thanks to my friends and staff who showed me goodwill, because those memories are the only moments that make the clock stand still. You know, I was gonna say he is giving Lanny Poffo a run for his money.
Can we just?
Are you giving appreciative snapping?
Yeah, if we could just get like a bass in the background and just a smoky setting to it.
Maybe I'll put that in post if I'm feeling froggy.
Boom, 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 boom. Just a coffee shop, you know. Stupid.
Oh, I can't make that Game Grumps reference on here as much as I'd love to, but it's something that they make a reference to in terms of a bass player. We'll just put it that way. And something that rhymes with somebody who plays the bass. I'll tell you during the break.
It's one of the best taglines this show could never have.
Exactly.
I'll tell you during the break. Okay. Cool.
Well, because otherwise I know I'll get in trouble for that one. Yeah, you can ponder it, or maybe you already know what I'm talking about. But
bye!
No, not that reference. No, it has nothing to do with Avi. De Niro, of course, working as a color commentator on the Impact Wrestling broadcast team. The company simply went from a three-man booth to the duo of Jeremy Borash and Josh Matthews on Thursday night. And actually, before I forget, now's a good time to take care of that, and that means it's also time to tell you about our good friends over at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA, where there's few better pairings than music and brews. Today marking the conclusion of Liberty Music Fest, live music all day long. Plus, it's a frickin' awesome Saturday. This time it's a cask of Saison conditioned on tangerine and orange. Nothing on orange or tangerine, at least?
When it comes to beer, no.
And, well, I was going to say, we already know your take on citruses, we'll put it that way. Next Saturday also marks the return of Kinky Quizzo. I know you got nothing to say on that one. And coming up on Saturday, September 23rd, the Broken Goblet teams up with the Bucks County Speedsters for the first ever beer mile in Lower Bucks County. It's like a variation of the Brock Lesnar shirt, drink, run, repeat. We're actually, in getting a little bit more info, it's more like run, drink, repeat. Where you, run for a quarter mile and then have a pint of beer. Then you run for another quarter mile, have another pint of beer. Repeat for and then two more times.
Oh, really? Should one of the instructions be fall flat on your face?
Maybe near the end. We'll see. Yeah, I think I made it sound almost as hard as it actually would be. If not, it's probably more difficult. Plus, Sunday, October 22nd, another round of yoga and flights. Tickets go quickly. Only 25 spots are available. $15 gets you a 1-hour yoga class at the Broken Goblet Brewery and then a post-session flight of the Broken Goblet's brews. Just a few reasons why it's always a good time at the Broken Goblet Brewery, 1500 Grundy's Lane in Bristol, PA. Broken Goblet Brewing, the semi-official brewery of Pro Wrestling Weekly. Please enjoy responsibly. Coming back, we got more news and things to get into, plus our predictions starting to go wrong for SummerSlam tomorrow night. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com.
Hello, I'm Dan Breen of Bucks County River Country, the world's river tubing capital. And I'm out here on the Delaware with a bunch of other folks. Hey, guys!
Hey, Dan!
And we're having the time of our lives. Listen, if you haven't been to Bucks County River Country, you don't know what you're missing. We've got tubing, canoeing, kayaking, rafting, and our tiki-style Riverside Cafe to whet your palate. You'll have loads of fun with the family, friends, or even a company outing. See for yourself. Check out our webcam at rivercountry.net and And while you're there, make your reservations online. Discounts are available for groups of 20 or more. Remember, the average water temperature is 80 degrees, and it's so easy to get here. We're just 8 miles north of New Hope, Pennsylvania. Don't miss out on the most fun you could have this summer. Come to Bucks County River Country, the world's river tubing capital. Hey, Holmes, we love to see you wet.
Buy your season pass for Bucks County River Country online today at rivercountry.net. That's rivercountry.net, or call 215-297-5000.
Hi, Tom Mellon from Team Toyota. Remember to listen to our show, Let's Go Places with Tommy Toyota, live here on 1490 WBCB, dedicated to our local hometown veterans, policemen, and firemen. Call me anytime for an appointment at 215-768-6505. That's 215-768-6505 for your exclusively discounted vehicle selection, and $50 will be donated in your honor to our specially selected charities. Stop by and see me, Tommy Toyota, at Team Toyota, Business Route 1, Langhorne.
All commentators heard on WBCB express their own views. Their opinions are not necessarily those of others on WBCB, including the staff and management.
Phillies PA announcer Dan Baker asking you to join me and former Phillies slugger Greg the Bull Luzinski for the Independence Blue Cross Bull Session presented by Gage Fiore, attorneys at fightforyou.com. Every Monday, 6 to 7 p.m., we'll talk Phillies baseball with a different guest each week. Go to WBCB1490.com to check show locations and guest information each week. The Independence Blue Cross Bull Session, presented by Gage Fiore, attorneys at fightforyou.com, every Monday at 6 p.m. on 1490 WBCB and 610 Sports.
Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, August 19. On this date in 1996, WCW Monday Nitro aired live from Huntsville, Alabama. In the main event, The Giant fought Randy Savage to a no contest. On this date in 2001, the WWF held its SummerSlam pay-per-view. In the main event, The Rock pinned Booker T to win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. On this date in 2002, WWE Monday Night Raw aired live from Norfolk, Virginia. In the main event, The Rock fought Triple H to a no contest. On this date in 2012, WWE held its SummerSlam pay-per-view. In the main event, Brock Lesnar defeated Triple H by submission. This has been Today in Wrestling History, August 19.
Hi, this is Jim Cornette, and you're listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Derry on 1490 WBCB.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry alongside Lucas Twitch DeSangro. And we're talking wrestling stuff and things.
Yes, indeed we are.
Including, for those down under, got a bit of good news for you. WWE announcing Wednesday that it has reached a new agreement with 9 Network to broadcast weekly 1-hour versions of Raw and SmackDown in Australia on 9 Network channel 9 Go.
Do you want me to do this? I'm not to dig at you. I think I would do a very, a lot better of an Australian accent.
Wow.
What do you mean, wow? I'm just being honest. I'm your best friend. When a joke isn't, we can all tell when a joke isn't funny of mine at this point. But I'm just.
Well, that's why I read a little bit of it and kind of got away from it. That was as far as I was going with it.
Okay, this one.
Starting this week, 9 Go will televise a 1-hour edition of Raw on Thursdays at 11 p.m. and a 1-hour edition of SmackDowns on Fridays, immediately following the conclusion of 9 Go's Friday Night Movie.
How are they getting a 1-hour edition? Are they just going to edit out the stuff that doesn't need to be on the...
Yeah, that's what they do for international markets. Depending on which market it is, for Raw, they can edit a 3-hour down to a 2 or a 1-hour edition and kind of give you the highlight points.
You mean the version that it's really, really important for you to see?
They did this. They would do this here with Hulu back when WWE was on Hulu. At least I think they're not there anymore. But yeah, you'd get you'd have the 3-hour Raw live, and then you'd have an abridged 90-minute edited version for Hulu. That's what they do for international markets.
Wow. And we have 3 hours. And 1 hour is not even that feasible.
All these flavors, and you're choosing to be bitter right now. Wow.
Oh, at least you weren't going to say salty.
Well, no, I had to shake it up.
Oh.
Because you were expecting
Just
me
like
to say
you
salty.
would salt. There is no spoon.
There, that's about all I got.
Gotcha. Okay.
Michelle Wilson, WWE Chief Revenue and Marketing Officer, saying, quote, "We are thrilled to add another best-in-class TV partner to our roster in Australia to deliver content to our fans. Our partnership with Nine Network enables us to expand our reach in Australia and complements our live programming in the region. In addition to this new agreement with Nine Network, WWE announced recently that it will extend its partnership with Foxtel to broadcast WWE programming live in Australia." So there you go. So they do get the full show, just because it's at a way different time slot compared to the Eastern time zone of the United States. Not everybody's necessarily able to watch live, as Foxtel's Fox 8 televises Raw live on Tuesdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and then SmackDown live on Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Most people are working or at school during that point, so they can't really watch. That's why they have the edited version, or maybe they DVR it. I don't know. Also, as you probably saw, the bank is withdrawn. That's right. Baron Corbin cashing in his Money in the Bank contract at the end of Tuesday's SmackDown. Cashing in while Jinder Mahal was down on the mat following his match with John Cena. When the bell rang, Corbin fought off Cena briefly and then was rolled up by Mahal for the quick pin. So,
Yeah.
so much for that there.
He pissed somebody off, assumingly.
Perhaps. Although, speaking of Jinder Mahal, he's going to be, this should be interesting, and might tick a nerve on one Twitch over here, possibly. We'll see. WWE Champion Jinder Mahal will accompany Arjan Singh Bulhar at the UFC 215 event. Bulhar writing on Instagram, quote, "When we as a people can genuinely support each other, amazing is possible. I was able to watch the Maharaja do his thing in Vancouver, and now I'm excited to announce WWE champ Jinder Mahal will be taking time away from his busy schedule to accompany the team for my debut fight in his home province of Alberta." Now, the timing works out for Mahal as WWE has the weekend off from live events before heading out for an overseas tour the following week. And I guess WWE has come a long way since Vince McMahon refused to allow CM Punk to appear with Chael Sonnen at UFC on Fox 2 back in 2012. Punk later stating that McMahon told him that MMA is barbaric and someone would die.
Okay.
You're swinging for the fences today, I see.
I'm very tired, and I know that about 75% of what I'm going to say is going to be utter garbage. As proven by my earlier statements.
Okay, 12:48. Gotta
Yep,
make a note of that one, too.
I'm completely burying myself for your benefit.
Well, I mean, here's something that, in a way, is both highlighting and burying at the same time. Those, I know we talked about this a few months ago when it came out, but WWE releasing yesterday new episodes of Southpaw Regional Wrestling, including a possible inspiration for Bill Wilde's ECW character a decade plus before he utilized it.
Or the one he's using now at the MFPW when he does come in and wrestle.
Sure, although I have to admit, I had the same shocked and befuddled look that a character who looked a lot like John Cena with an interesting wig. Yeah, my shocked look pretty much matched that, as the line, "I'm Bilvis Wesley and I'm top notch, ain't no one in Southpaw with a better crotch," followed by a series of hip swivels. Plus, there was an interesting cross between the...
So who was playing Bilvis Wesley?
I couldn't quite tell from the quick vignette on it. I'll have to give it a little bit more thorough look and see what I can find out. Also, there was a cross between the Rougeaus and one Wurzel with the Frenchman character René Beret, who looks like he could yell "oui, oui, oui" a lot if he wanted to.
I see what you did.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they blatantly ripped off Bilvis Wesley in the MFPW, but that's cool.
Well, there was a lot of, like I said, I mean, it was pretty much like a lot. Obviously, there was a lot of take to René Goulet's character, hence why I said Wurzel, and a little bit of that with the being from a foreign country but loving the United States, as the Fabulous Rougeaus did back in the late 80s.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's a WW. Bill Wiles was in ECW, but his Bilvis Wesley thing is... And also, besides you and I, knowing that, and if we didn't know about, if I didn't know about OSW, I wouldn't know who René Goulet is, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, props to Jay Hunter for glorifying him. And
would you be able to say the same?
I would be able to recognize him as that blonde guy in the mid-'90s who was out there with all the officials breaking things up alongside of Tony Gurria and Patterson and Briscoe and all that. But yes, his in-ring career kind of preceded my following of wrestling and, in a lot of cases, my existence.
Exactly, but we both know who Bilvis Wesley is. Hell, I've tagged with him a couple of times. I wrestled him in my singles debut at the MFPW.
I was waiting for you to do the Barry Horowitz patting yourself on the back.
No, I'm just saying that in terms of the blatantly.
Alrighty, let's. Yeah, except they own, like they bought out all the rights to that stuff, so they do technically
own the Wild.
Well, I mean, they bought
they
bought
Dangerous
ECW's
Alliance.
video rights. I mean,
yeah, but Bilvis Wesley, the MFPW, that's not ECW.
Didn't he use it in ECW though?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he was a part. I know he was a part of the Dangerous Alliance with C.W. Anderson.
I don't know. That's a debate we can definitely have off air, as it's not completely relevant to things going on here. In other tidbits of info, the free documentary Galloway, The End of the Independents, chronicling Drew McIntyre's final independent dates before signing with WWE and NXT, is now available on YouTube. Interestingly enough, the video was produced by former WWE and TNA writer Dave Lagana, who is currently working with Billy Corgan on the NWA project. And you'll if you haven't seen it yet, I'm sure you'll add it to your watch list. It's a 23-minute video that includes footage from McIntyre's WrestleMania weekend matches with Matt Riddle, Leo Rush, ACH, and Keith Lee, along with a lot of behind-the-scenes footage.
Interesting.
Good, I moved the needle a little bit for you, man.
Now he's going on to face Bobby Roode for the NXT title.
Yes, that's later tonight with NXT TakeOver Brooklyn
3.
Brooklyn 3, yes. And speak of Brooklyn, WWE issued a press release on Monday to announce that SummerSlam would return to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York for 2018. That's right, the Barclays Center will host 4 consecutive nights of WWE action, starting Saturday, August 18th with NXT, SummerSlam on Sunday the 19th, 1 year from today, Monday Night Raw on August 20th, and SmackDown Live on Tuesday, August 21st. It'll be the 4th consecutive year that the Barclays Center has hosted SummerSlam after spending 6 years out west in the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. All right, we've got a few minutes to do this. Let's see if we can get it in. All right, predictions certain to go wrong for SummerSlam. Yeah, I had to bust out the old SummerSlam Jam theme. Because why not? All right, not 1, not 2, but 3 pre-show matches. We've got Akira Tozawa defending the newly won Cruiserweight Championship against Neville. Who you got?
I'm going to throw a curveball. I'm going to say Neville wins it back.
Ooh.
Because they always like to just... Our predictions for last pay-per-view were completely effed.
Yeah, well, one of us is going to be, in this case, as I'm going with Tozawa. The New Day against the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Titles. The New Day on the pre-show? Who came up with that idea? Who?
They haven't been eating their bootios, that's for sure.
Probably might be the case.
The New Day.
I'm with you on that. I'm thinking New Day retains. All right, and then the third match, one that I'm sure you'll be intrigued by, as a lot of people will, the Hardy Boys and Jason Jordan against The Miz and The Miztourage, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel in a six-man tag.
Hardy Boys and Jason Jordan.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. All right, now to the main card. 8 matches and probably about 2 minutes to get them all in. John Cena against Baron Corbin.
Corbin. Cena's SummerSlam record is horrendous.
Well, for that reason, I'm thinking that Cena's got at least rebounded a little bit, so I'm going to go with Cena on that one. Crazy enough as it may be. Finn Balor against Bray Wyatt.
Balor.
Yeah, two guys who desperately need a win on pay-per-view. Where do you go? I guess we'll go with Finn.
I've been waiting for this match for so long in this feud. Oh my God, I can't wait.
You are excited. 2/3 of the Shield challenging for the Raw Tag Title, Cesaro and Sheamus against Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
Ambrose and Rollins. I'm so going for them on this.
I'm thinking the champs retain. I'm thinking the champs retain on this one. All right, we've got Randy Orton against Rusev.
I think you skipped one.
Yeah, I'm jumping around here.
Orton.
All right, I'm with you on that. I'm thinking Orton. Now, I was going more for the other stipulative matches and saving those. So you got Big Show against Big Cass with Enzo Amore suspended above the ring in a shark cage.
Cass.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking Cass takes this too. The fact that you've got Enzo above the cage is what makes it interesting, but yeah, I'm thinking Cass somehow overcomes the odds, I guess. I don't know. AJ Styles defending the U.S. title against Kevin Owens with Shane O'Mac as the guest referee.
AJ Styles.
I agree on that. My apologies to Canada. Sorry. Jinder Mahal defending the WWE Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura.
Nakamura.
Yeah.
Though I won't be disappointed if Mahal retains because I want to see the internet burn. So bad.
I know, I'm torn.
Nakamura. Well, we're torn for the wrong reasons. Let's be honest.
Well, you're torn for the wrong reasons. I'm going with, I'm going to stay with Jinder retaining. Maybe some chicanery or something. Keeps it moving beyond SummerSlam. Also, Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's title. Let's throw another one on here. There we go.
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I'm thinking Bliss retains. And then Naomi and Natalya for the women's title for SmackDown.
Naomi retains, but I'm also going to call that Carmella cashes in and wins.
Ooh, interesting twist. And finally, the Fatal 4-Way, Brock Lesnar defending the Universal title against Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman. Who you got?
Senior Joe! And numbers don't lie. And even though they don't, I'm predicting you are going to win at SummerSlam.
Oh, goodness.
Twitch!
I see what you did there. Man, there was an 8 1/3% chance of that being funny. All right.
Wow.
All right. So there we go. 13 picks. We banged them out here. We got about a minute and a half here. Time for
birthdays.
All right. 3 + 2 Brucey bonuses. Rest in peace, Bruce Forsyth. That's right.
Yep.
The namesake of that. On this date in 1966, Lillian Annette Garcia was born. The Spanish-American former ring announcer on and off over the last 18 years turns 51 today.
She's 51?
Yeah.
Holy.
She started in 99, brah, with WWE.
Holy.
Yeah. Soak that in. On this
She
date
looks fantastic.
Yes, she does. On this date in 1981, Nicholas Christopher McNeil was born. The former NXT wrestler and current NXT color commentator known as Percy Watson turns 36 today. And sticking with NXT, on this date in 1995, Patrick Clark Jr. was born. The former Tough Enough competitor and current NXT wrestler, better known as the Velveteen Dream, turns 22 today. And the 2 Brucey bonuses. On this date in 1940, John Lester Nash Jr. was born. The singer and songwriter best known for his 1972 chart topper, I Can See Clearly Now, The Rain Is Gone. Better known as Johnny Nash, turned 77 today. And on this date in 1946,
Bill Clinton was born. He turns 71 today, the former president. That's going to do it for us. Until next week, play us out. Oh, Nutsy, where are you? Where is Nutsy? There he is.
1 o'clock.